Alright, so yesterday I struggled, okay, let me just get this connected first. It doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. Alright, so let me start early to try to understand what's going on here. And I'll summarize the problem as my symptoms have been that I've had a racing heart all day. Up and down. Noticeably, I could feel it beating, especially while laying down. Not right now. I can't feel it beating, but when I was laying down a couple hours ago, took a nap. I just don't quite follow what happened. I was feeling fine yesterday, and okay, what did I do yesterday? Oh, hello Zap, I'm gonna be complaining a lot here. What I did yesterday was hang out in like the forest. Okay, so I felt good. You're feeling sick? Yeah. What are your symptoms? What are you experiencing? I was exercising in unusual ways yesterday. I was okay, and I'll focus on that just a second. Here, I I was exercising by hugging the trees. All right, I shaved bark off of a 6 foot long, maybe maybe 4 inch thick a log, and I used my new knife to do that. Got all the bark off, and I was exercising with it. And it was heavy. It was nice and heavy. I really enjoyed it. I was thinking I wanted to take it with me, but I was doing all kinds of exercises that I wouldn't normally do with my regular sticks, my light sticks. My 7 foot stick isn't even that heavy. I had a real nice light log. Some loggers went into that forest, and some trees fell down on a sidewalk through the forest, and they cut a nice thick piece of wood, and then I took the bark off and started using it for exercise, for my stick exercises, but in a different way because it's so heavy. And I mean, could that? I don't think that did anything bad to me. Exposing myself to the trees, the inner bark, rubbing it on my clothes because I was lifting it above my head and laying on the sidewalk and pressing it and curling it. But I also was doing exercises with the trees specifically. And can I be heard if I go back here? I was doing rows. I was grabbing the tree and doing rows. Along this trail, I was just walking along. There were some nice trees of various thicknesses, and I was just rowing myself into the tree. I was pushing my hips into the tree and then rowing myself in. And now, that was yesterday. Today my forearms are sore, and a little bit of my biceps. I was surprised that I would get my forearms sore. But I was touching various trees that had different surfaces, and some of them trees had some moss, and I wonder if possibly if I was interacting with a bad moss. That's one factor I've been thinking about. Was I touching as I was exercising? I was grasping the tree, pulling myself into it, getting a nice exercise for the back, the biceps, the forearms, doing the exercises until failure. But I was touching. Oh, you were saying more stuff. I just scrolled up. Dizzy, head hurts a little, and just feel bad. Dizzy, head hurts a little. If you got a headache, you want a warm pack on your head for sure. You want to warm up that blood circulation. Yeah, I don't know the kinds of trees. Bacon, eggs, and hash brown. you got, you might want a little fruit or a vegetable with that. The hash browns, man, I don't know. The deep with seed oil. Do you use seed oil with your hash browns? I would recommend not doing that. There's a lot of there's no controversy. There's no controversy with seed oils. They're bad. Travis, what are your opinions on high blood pressure pills? I don't want them. I wouldn't take them. I would take, okay, for high blood pressure, I turn to celery seeds, and they don't taste good, so I'll mix them with honey. They got that bitter and sweet. Let me back up. I need to back up. And if I move this camera closer, I might lose connection. It's just barely connected. All right. And then also cayenne pepper is to regulate blood pressure. And I've noticed that poppy seeds are pretty good for blood pressure. Poppy seeds take blood pressure down. Cayenne pepper and celery seeds are supposed to regulate. So there's different properties with herbs. Okay, I'll just sit back. It's a little bit better for breathing. Yeah, I think I caught some kind of a forest. I got a forest fungus, possibly. I was touching a lot of trees. I messed with a snake. I was trouncing through the forest around Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It's a different forest. It's a landscape similar to Wisconsin, but they have bayous. They have cypress trees with the nodules that stick out. And I actually broke one of those nodules just to see how strong they are, and they break pretty easy. But because the trees presented themselves so easily, and there was nobody else that went in that forest yesterday but me, I was exercising in peace. And I wonder, my hands feel a little numb today, but it's been off and on. It's not that bad. I did have this unusual feeling, and I think it was yesterday, where I was getting a tingly feeling around here on my hand. Okay, but I solved that quickly. I reached back, grab my magnets, and just hold on to them. Every so often I'd point them at the palm, but that got rid of the tingles pretty quick, and I forgot about it. Weird things happen every so often like that. Can't explain it, but yeah, I've turned to magnets today a little bit for my heart issues too. So I felt like I had a good exercise yesterday. And one thing that was unusual in the evening time yesterday was I was drinking water at a fountain, and I wasn't thirsty, but I didn't feel like stopping. I was like drinking for a couple of minutes. I had this like unusual like desire for water, but I wasn't feeling the thirst. And that was the night before my heart went crazy, because my heart went crazy at 4 a.m. Today. But that night, the only unusual symptom before that happened was I was drinking a lot of water, and I couldn't get enough water. So that was it. I mean, I'm trying to drink water to flush this through a little bit, this problem, because I don't want to wake up with another racing heart. Let me go into diet, because that was exercise in the forest that led to drinking a lot. That's about the only thing that stood out, was that excess of drinking yesterday. And I still can handle lots of water. Like, I need to flush the stuff out of me. And let me just say also, I pooped. Jack saw me. I pooped about 5 or 6 times today. 3 times this morning, and then like 2 through the day. I was shocked by that. Like like something was being rushed through me. Now, was it the forest? I mean, that's strange. Could a fungus do that to me? Could a fungus, handling a fungus with my hands? Yeah, I don't think, I think my bigger issue is dehydration at this point. I'm not concerned about. I've never I've only experienced water intoxication once. And that was not that big of a deal, really. Just felt a little woozy, I guess, but that was from massive rush of drinking. A lot of times when I drink a lot of water, I feel good, like there's a head rush. It's amazing. You're more likely to be dehydrated than overhydrated, I think. At least me, with my profile, I tend to sweat easy. I'm European. I can't handle the sun. All right. So yeah, I handled possibly dangerous substances on the tree. There was moss. There were vines growing on the trees. I was touching them all, rubbing them on my clothes. Really getting into the forest exercise, and my forearms are sore because of it. And then my what did I eat yesterday? Well, I had eggs with a couple of egg yolks and radishes. I had a whole bag of the organic radishes that Walmart sells, and I wonder I wonder if the radishes could be a factor. I had, which is part of my usual. I had orange juice. I squeezed orange juice in my orange juice squeezing thing, and then put turmeric in. Had about seven oranges. The thing is, I'm very concerned about the cleanliness of that orange juice squeezer thing. I don't keep it clean enough. It's plastic for the squeezy part, and I would prefer a metal. And it's just like, that is potentially bad for infection. The glass container that catches, because I don't have a plumbing in my car, so I'm cleaning with the water bottle, the same water bottle I have to drink from. So I'm trying to conserve on cleaning water and focus on more drinking. And I wonder if I could have caught infection from a from a fungus, from something, a pathogen that was growing on the orange juice squeezing tool. That thing is hard to keep clean. But could the eggs have caused it? I'm getting scared of egg yolks. I'm really getting scared of egg yolks. I don't think I can have egg yolks with every egg. I think I have to maybe cut back on egg yolks again. One egg yolk per 6 eggs, possibly, and try that. I don't want to stop eating eggs. I know the egg whites are decent, but I'm scared. I've become more scared of those egg yolks because I wonder if it's clogging up my arteries. A racing heart. This racing heart was really scary. I thought at times I was going to pass out. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning, and I I had the racing heart. I woke up at 4 a.m. because of the racing heart, and also suddenly a need to poop. So I had nowhere really to go. I had to go outside, and I was just searching frantically in the area. As I was walking, my heart, was still beating hard and fast, and I was getting a little tired. I was breathing a little heavier because of the fast beating heart. And then I found a place to poop, and the breathing improved a little bit. Okay, it's like there's a problem with like a constipation issue, sort of, where I have a buildup, and it's like affecting my heart, like the storage in my intestines affects my heart. So radish, I don't think I lowered my blood sugar. That's what I wonder, could it be a hormonal issue? Like, I've been reading about hormones and how it's hard to balance hormones as you get older. And yesterday I had bananas with star anise, and star anise has been known to mess with my hormones. I could feel it. This is a personal thing, but I could feel it. There seems to be a heart and like sexual, let's say, drive connection. When I feel an increase in sexual drive, and it's artificial, an artificial sexual drive will adversely affect my heart. And a lot of things that cause artificial sexual drive is different herbs, ones that'll jack up the testosterone, or I don't know, do something that throws blocks estrogen, something. Star anise is one of those that mess with my hormones, I believe. And yeah, I definitely cleaned out my car. I actually removed the seat today, and now my car beeps at me a lot. So there's a problem with that I got to figure out. I removed, because I actually have more room now too. It's pretty nice. I have more. I've removed the seat, and I just sit on carpets now, and I also removed the roof area. So I have a full range of motion. If I had everything in here like before, I'd be hitting my head on everything. So yeah, the increased sexual desire takes energy away from my heart. I haven't noticed the ants. No, I don't think they're in the front somewhere. I haven't cleaned out the passenger side yet to see what's going on with them. I've been cleaning out the back and the driver's side. But and also, what also could be causing my a racing heart is the air buildup from my burping too. I got preconditions going into this as well. Yeah, I don't think a girlfriend's gonna help me with this. A girl doesn't want somebody with problems like this. These are old man problems. I'm past my prime. So I was wondering, like, was it hormonal, and a hormonal thing? Could I have thrown my hormones off? Because that can cause a rapid heartbeat issue. But when I woke up at it's 4 a.m. this morning, I was wondering, could my racing heart be a result of the environment? There's just so many factors. I was smelling around. I'm like, I don't smell any smoke. In the past, I've had racing heart from the smoke smell. So I would move, and my health condition improves. But that's not the case this time. This time, it's something else. My heart racing, was something else. And I wouldn't count the environment. Uh, I would suspect it would be possibly something I ate. And usually, if I get infections from something I ate, I would get a sore throat. That's happened to me in the past. Eating out of plastic containers that I don't keep clean enough, they get my throat sore. That didn't happen. So that you know, what else leads to the straight directly to a racing heart? It really seems like something I was touching on the trees. There was fungus. Clearly there was fungus on the trees, and I touched it. And I was exercising with those trees. I was just like, whatever. It feels kind of dry. And I know mushrooms are pretty dangerous. No salt. I don't use any salt. Low in potassium. Yeah, I don't know. I had like 5 bananas today. I had bananas yesterday with that star anise. And I kind of had problems with star anise in the past, but it's been off and on for me. But I think I'm gonna have to really cut back on star anise, not have as much star anise. I'd maybe have 3 or 4 star anises, like almost 1 per banana or so. Just reduce my star anise consumption, because I like the taste with bananas, but I don't need to be suffering with the hormonal issues. Um, there's different herbs. Like, I'm scared of flax seeds, because flax seeds block my estrogen and then send me into, like, my hands will lose circulation. I'll get this rampant sexual desire because I'm blocking estrogen with the flax seeds, and then it puts pressure on my heart, and I lose a little, like, I get numb in my hands. It's a strange, messing with your hormones is really strange. And I don't know how people could do it with the drugs, the trend. How do these lifters deal with that rapid change of hormonal balance? I'm struggling with just herbs alone. And what all they do to me. The various herbs, like thyme blocks estrogen. So I'm trying to have I think I want to increase my estrogen, and plants like basil. I bought basil today, and I got these I got my roof herbs. Oh, I also have chives too, yeah. But they're metal on the top, so I spent a little bit higher money for more money. Yeah, to the tree's benefit. Yeah, I was surprised how strong I felt 2 days ago. I actually climbed a tree. I might start recording myself climbing trees. But can I get used to the environment and not get sick off of handling trees with a little tree moss on it? This is kind of new to me. But yeah, trees that grow up with, or you look at studies with grass that has no wind. Grass that grows around no wind develop weak stalks. But grass in windy conditions will grow really strong. So they need a good shaking every so often. But these trees, there's a lot of fallen trees in the forest. These aren't great. I couldn't find any trees that are good enough for walking sticks. So but I mean, I felt like I had fairly good exercise yesterday, but I have to wake up this morning at 4 a.m. with a rapid heartbeat. It almost felt like I was gonna pass out. That was it. I did not appreciate that feeling. And it's happened before in the past too. You know, you get that feeling. It's your instincts are going to be pretty good about that. You know, like, oh God, I'm dying. You got that sudden sense of doom overcoming you. And I know it can't be anxiety. Stress doesn't help, but it still comes on. And there's different factors. There's the environment, there's diets, there's just your general movement, I think. And I'm just frustrated by it right now. I just don't know exactly how to move forward with this, because I haven't died, so I gotta remember this happens. Now that it happened, I want to consider the problem, that it's a potential problem again. It could be a potential problem again. Maybe not tonight. Maybe, but it could be a couple of weeks from now. I could wake up with another rapid heartbeat, and I have to wonder, how am I going to deal with that again? All right. How do I deal with the rapid heartbeats? And it seemed like my body's best response naturally was to eject, make me poop 5-6 times today, periodically throughout the day. I have a good appetite. I didn't feel like I had a fever. I didn't feel cold. It's been warm today. I actually sweat. It's been so warm. I don't really feel weak, except unless I exert myself. Bicycling, I felt too weak to bicycle too hard. I could bicycle, and then a few minutes in, I was too tired. And I feel like when I get tired now from exertion, I'm about to pass out. I get that feeling, and it comes on kind of easy too. So it's like I like to exert myself until I'm breathing heavy, but it just seems like there's an extra labor going on here. Like there's extra swelling in my inner center part of my, like I'm not able to take full breaths, and so that's also a precondition that I'm struggling with. I have the burping condition. I have the inability to take deep breaths already going into this rapid heartbeat. So it's some factors that I got to work around. Pretty much, I made sure just not to do any exercise today. Just a little walking here and there. But yeah, besides that, yeah, it's frustrating, and I just have to sit back and reflect on this going forward. Yeah, there's some the one herb that I'm most concerned about, Mike Leach. One herb I'm most concerned about now is a star anise. I think I could have regular anise, which is also messes with the hormones a little bit, but I think in a better way. It's more pro estrogen. And I was reading about estrogen and hormonal balance. Oh man. And you can't just wake up with a panic attack at 4 a.m. like that. No way. Do panic attacks lead to pooping? I was reading about progesterone, and I need to look at that again. I had wild yam a couple of years ago. No more wild yam ever. The wild yam shuts down part of my heart. It's a terrible feeling. My heart goes rapid pace. I'm struggling to breathe. And that's my experience with wild yam. It messes with the hormones. Early on when I was experimenting with wild yam, it wasn't as big of a problem, but now it's a big problem. I can't mess with wild yam. Yeah, I eat a lot of fruits. That's yeah. I'm a whole foods diet guy. Thought about trading to no, trade Florida's too far at this where I'm at. Yeah, I never had to go on insulin. I don't have a blood sugar. I don't have as much of a blood sugar issue as I do hormones. The hormonal issue is just is crazy because in a lot of ways it's the herbs I take. Uh, yeah, just don't you got to stay off of all extracts. There's not a single good extract to eat. People talk about apple cider vinegar. Stay away from it. Have the lemon instead. Yeah, I'm so okay. I'm going into, I'm going through my problems as a whole food dietist. As a whole food dietist, and I learned about really getting into whole foods, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. I was on the protein diet for a while. That led to terrible constipation issues. Ate raw fruits only. To be honest, I didn't have to drink water with it. Yeah, eating. If you're into vegetarian diets, you're gonna have problems. The plants. There's some plants that really mess with your hormones and drive you crazy. Make you wake up with a rapid heartbeat. They can give you amazing sexual stimulation, but it comes at a cost. The hormones in plants are just too much. They're called phytochemicals, and there's different plants they all have different the different like issues, and I was really into the high testosterone herbs, like your Tribulus terrestris, or even not yeah, just various herbs. There's like apples don't mess with your hormones, but peanuts don't really mess with your hormones. I haven't noticed that. But if you have, oh, I don't know, pears are okay. Pears seem to increase the fluid, I think pears seem to increase seminal fluid. It's really strange. I don't know why that is. Oh, man, look, stay away. I would recommend staying away from horny goatweed. That stuff is crazy. That stuff will drive your sex. It drives coats. Sex drives crazy. It drives human sex drives crazy. We're not that different. The plants are the same. Our digestive systems are similar enough. Low glycemic fruits. Yeah, you gotta. I'll do a lot of fruits, not as much vegetables. And those fruits are apples. I now keep apples on me at all times. Oranges, bananas, blueberries from the frozen food section. I have a lot of fruits now. But I also do milk and eggs as animal products. I don't eat meat because it's such a hassle. Fish, I don't even deal with fish anymore. Such a hassle. But at least the milk and the eggs don't seem to mess with my hormones so much. And they're high in protein, so they're very welcome to me. I really appreciate those animal products. They're renewable sources. But plants, it's just some combinations of plants really mess with you. Some combinations will hurt your stomach. I've had turmeric and like something else. Turmeric. There's some combinations that are no fun to deal with. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Josh. I don't know about going on an entirely vegetarian diet. I heard a statistic that more people uh, more people are getting off of the vegetarian diet than are getting on it. Something like that. You His minions better throw him a lifeline. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I never really tried to get on a vegetarian diet though. All vegetarian. I agreed with the high protein diet for a while, but that messes with my heart too. Pork. I think I'm done with pork. There's no more pork products I'll eat. Chicken messes with my heart too. But eggs are perfectly fine. Milk is fine. Cheese is terrible. Butter is terrible. But milk and eggs just by themselves have been fine for me. There's something there's a processing issue or something. And then I just, the whole foods, the whole fruits and vegetables. But is that a lawyer gets in trouble, he hires another to help him, a doctor? Nah. We got the internet now. I'm just evaluating them. This isn't something that I needed to call an ambulance for. I got relief at 4 a.m. by going and taking a poop. All right? I got some relief. So what does that tell you? I have a rapid heartbeat. So I wake up with a rapid heartbeat, and then also within minutes I have to poop. So I poop, and then I get some relief, but then I have to poop again, and it's an ejection something. I'm trying to eject something that got in my body. And my body's saying, let's just dump everything, and try to see if that brings relief. I think I took something in my body, but is it something I touched on the forest trees, that forest moss? I never actually I don't believe I handled mushrooms, or fungus, but it just makes more sense to me that fruits process in the body the way it should. Meat and dairy are something dead. Yeah, fruits will rot too. I don't know how fruits are preserved. Definitely no fermentation. You don't want to deal with fermentation. Drying the fruits, like with raisins. I know pioneers seem to eat a lot of raisins because those will last over the winter time. It was hard. You look at how the pioneers lived, and it was hard for pioneers to preserve fresh foods. I know that the Amish would go get blocks of ice and throw them in a cave, and then try to preserve various foods that way. Prevent, yeah, you don't want any, fermentation is a terrible thing. The only good thing about fermentation, if you can distill that vinegar is 80%, will kill 80% of the germs. So vinegar is great for the outside of the body, but consuming it, no, I'm too scared to do vinegar. Internally, no more alcohol, no distilled spirits in any way. Yeah, I can lube my esophagus with slippery elm. That's pretty good. All right. Yeah, you're limited to only certain fruits at the Walmart, and I've traveled around and eaten wild fruits in this country. The salal berries on the Washington coast. Never had slippery elm. Slippery elm is a northern tree. It's a tree bark, and I appreciate it. It's helped me a lot in a lot of ways. I've got a big stash of it in my car. I make sure to harvest as much as I can fit in my car. It's very useful to me. Also, cayenne pepper is pretty useful to me too, for heart issues. I still I want to believe that um, that cayenne pepper could save me from a heart attack. Like, you look at how people who get real heart attacks are revived. It's a big chest compression. So what I got to do is move. I got to open up my chest and try to move, try to get the blood flowing. Cayenne does you wonders? Oh, you're just saying it does wonders. Okay. The biggest thing that cayenne does is burns my mouth, and then it runs everything through my body really quickly. So I'm pooping out within a couple hours, and it burns. It's a fast. It's a real It's a real accelerant for the whole digestive process, and that's a little frustrating. It could actually get too bad. It's gotten so bad for me where I've had like cayenne by itself. I just do a cayenne bomb, and I would eject everything. It would run. It would really run everything through the intestines, and then I would have cramps in my intestines. Like, it just ran things through too fast. You got to limit the cayenne. The cayenne is very dose dependent, and you can overdo it. Yeah, I don't do sour cream or fermented stuff anymore. There was a time where I was playing with that, and wow, the side effects for sour cream is that it makes my heart feel like it's got a blockage in it, and then the fermentation, that always gave me sore throats, and at times it was such a wild fermentation. Sometimes it would get me a little drunk. It's not worth it. I'm done with fermentation. I'm done with cheeses. Cheeses would make me feel like I get a heart attack. That was the last time I ate cheese. Well, actually, I had cheese in jail too. They put cheese on, give you cheese sandwiches. I would eat that. I never felt like getting a heart attack. So I don't quite follow exactly what the problem is with cheese, but cheese is just no good for me. The Parmesan cheese is way too addictive. I mean, Parmesan's almost like having honey. It makes everything taste good, and that's just not good. There's something going on with it. It's just too addictive. Yeah, I don't know about cayennes. Cayenne, people can overdo cayenne. I put a spoonful of cayenne in water and gulp it down every morning. It made me feel somewhat of a high. Yeah, you don't. You could take cayenne too far. Okay, you might want to scale back on that cayenne. Have it with something, not just by itself. With milk, possibly. You caught the vid. Yeah. Mixing is real important to me, and that's the thing. I mixed bananas. I was getting into the habit of mixing bananas with star anise, but the star anise might be too strong for me. Just like mixing apples with cinnamon, the cinnamon kind of makes things feel like they're burning in my central core. So that's a bit of a problem. Cinnamon is a little toxic too. So they're just like herbs are something that you only have in small doses. And cayenne is an herb. You have it in small doses. It's not a staple. All right, staples are like wheat, shredded wheat, or potatoes. But man, there's so many factors. There's just the way foods will affect in different ways. And yeah, I suffered, and now I'm just whining about it. I suffered today with that rapid heartbeat. I didn't get any good sleep this morning. I couldn't go back to sleep with that rapid heartbeat. So that ruined my day. But I'm aware of it. I'm just gonna cheese, bacon, and bacon grease on buttered toast. You know, this dietitian was saying that having having coconut oil is like having butter. They're not that much different. They're both saturated fats, and they'll both mess you up. I'm done with consuming coconut oil. I've tried it. I've used it as a kind of a spread, and it just makes my heart struggle. So I'm done with that. No more. Coconut oil is great as a chain lube for my bicycle. So I'll continue to buy coconut oil because it's great for greasing up my chain. That's about it. These seed oils are good for lubricating machine parts, but not for body parts. They cause too many problems. Do I get enough fats? That's one thing I'm not sure of. But I mean, if I'm gonna feel congested, if my heart's gonna go crazy on me, I gotta cut back on the egg yolks as a result and see what happens. But was it an infection? Is it diet related? I want to increase my onion consumption, and the problem with the onions in my car is that I can't eat a whole onion every time. So I gotta preserve my onions to last, to cover. I can't find my onion. To cover several meals. And I'm getting into the habit of just taking the outer peels off of the onions and taking as much as I want for each meal, and then leaving it intact so it just gets smaller and smaller. And I think that might preserve the onion better, just by peeling outer layers off as I work towards the center. And I can't eat the whole thing in one meal, so yeah, we'll see how that works. I want to get into the habit. And the onions actually survived. They feel just the same as when I bought them a few weeks ago. They survived the winter storm, the 5-degree weather in my car. They didn't get spoiled. They seem to have adapted to that freeze in my car. They probably can't handle the heat as easy though. Putting an onion in your sock and leaving it overnight? No, I don't. The smell of onion is supposed to like kill the bacteria in the air. I understand, but nah, they're just for eating for me. Just with eggs. Eat them with eggs. So now I got 2 car headlights on my face. That's why it's bright. So I'm in a parking lot. Yeah, onions. I bought avocado today. Sometimes avocado messes with me. The rotten parts of the avocado seem like they really have something nasty going on. And this is maybe a dumb theory, but I think, if I can't eat the seed of the avocado, then I shouldn't be eating the yolk of the egg. But I'll eat 1 yolk every 6 eggs. I think that's going to be a new standard. I got to change things up. I don't eat the fish. Somebody asked, am I eating fish? I haven't had fish in months now. I don't know where I'm getting my omega-3s, if I'm getting enough at all. So the rapid heartbeat, I don't think it's a lack of omega-3s. I think I might be getting enough with the milk and the eggs, but I'm not 100% sure. B vitamins are supposed to help with processing of hormones. I have to be able to break down hormones if I'm going to consume hormones. You can eat the avocado seeds, right? Yeah, you can eat them, sure. But can you survive? How long will you survive afterward? I mean, I've played around with some things. eating some things I should never have, like the saw palmetto seeds. That was a mistake. That the saw palmetto shut down my brain. It's almost like having nutmeg, but nutmeg is more target specific. Nutmeg seems to target one spot of my brain and shuts it down, and it makes it feel like it's just a fluid sac in there. Yeah. Oh, poisons. Huh. I do have these I have annatto seeds that are supposed to draw out poison. I should probably take another look at my annatto seeds. That would be something. I hold on to them, and I've held on to them since since South Dakota. Since I was in South, I bought them. I started buying annatto seeds in South Dakota. Is it Cedar Rapids? So when was I in Cedar Rapids, South Dakota? I was like 2020. So yeah, I've been holding on to these seeds since 2020. I got some herbs that have been sitting in my car for a little too long. But seeds should last a while. Last a little bit longer than leaves. Foods and cops. Yeah, I'm more scared of the food than the cops. I'm more scared of my health than cops. It's so messed up. My heart can just fail like that, like getting shots or something. My own body self-sacrifices. Like with that rapid heartbeat, I've created a little bit more room in my car, at least, so I can at least, maybe open up this chest. One thing that I've noticed that is a problem for my heart is that when I don't lay down on my back on a hard surface to stretch out the upper back. I haven't done that in a long time. It'd be nice to be able to just fall asleep on a hard surface on my back to really open things up. That's a real benefit that I lose by car camping. But maybe I could take another look at that. I have created more room in my car. Maybe I can bring a board in here. Food sac in the brain. Yeah, you want to be careful with nutmeg. Nutmeg is really toxic, and it's supposed to be a legal like marijuana, a legal just narcotic. It's a legal narcotic, but it's not a pleasant narcotic. There's illegal narcotics and there's legal narcotics. But yeah, so yeah, you want sleeping on hard surfaces is great, especially if it works best if you're into exercising and you tighten up your muscles. To be able to lay on something hard is like a massage. And I haven't been getting that sleeping in this car, and it's raining right now. I mean, well, not right now, but all night tonight it will be. I can't just go lay out on the next to my car. Sometimes I can, but it's severely limited. So, all right. Well, let's see. I wanted to complain a little bit about my heart. So, I've gotten my complaints out, and my theories are that it could be a fungus from the forest, or it could be something that I ate. Maybe the environment. I don't think about it. Seems less likely. But I'm gonna stop it here.